look at me. I have a bunch of pictures to share with you too. So my name is Monica Allen, and I'm the marketing chair on the board for Girls in San Diego. I was also a 6-time coach. I coached in Carmel Valley. I was a head coach for the Girls in the Run group, and then also the Girls on Track group, which is the older girls. And I coached up until last fall, which is when things just kind of started not feeling right with me. I was training for marathon, and I just felt slower. I felt like I was dragging. I was like always out of breath. And something just kind of felt off in my body. I also started having these weird headaches, and I didn't know what was causing them. And they weren't like headaches in the normal sense. It wasn't like this, throbbing pain. They were just short attacks of really intense pain that lasted maybe 10 seconds. And they'd happen once or twice a day, up to 20, 30 times a day. It was really weird. So I finally went to see a doctor, and the first doctor told me, you're stressed out, you're not getting enough sleep, you really need to relax. These are things you should do to change your life. So I went home, and I'm like, I'm going to be really good at relaxing and sleeping. So I downloaded some apps. I downloaded some apps on relaxation and meditation, and I listened to them as I went to sleep. I downloaded this app called Sleep Cycle, which monitored your sleep and would track your movements during the night. So I was charting how I was sleeping every night. And I went from sleeping like 5 hours a night to maybe 6 or 7. And I thought, okay, I'm relaxing, I'm sleeping well. But the headaches didn't go away. So a month later, I went in to see my doctor again, and this time he gave me painkillers. So I tried those for a month, and those didn't do anything either. So then I got a bunch of massages, and I saw 2 different chiropractors, and finally one of the chiropractors said, I really think you should get an MRI. Maybe something's wrong with your neck. Maybe you slipped a disc in your neck. So I went back to my primary care doctor and asked for an MRI. Since I had an HMO at the time, it took about 2 months before I finally got in to see a neurologist. And when I saw the neurologist and I'm explaining these weird head pains, he kind of made me feel like he didn't think it was a big deal. He said, most headaches are caused by neck spasms. I'll refer you to physical therapy, and I'll see you in a month, but we'll send you to get an MRI. So I left thinking, okay, I'll get an MRI. It's probably nothing serious. I'll do physical therapy, and I'll see you a month later. So I got an MRI the next week, thinking that I probably wouldn't see this doctor again for a month. And 2 days later, on September 21st, day I'll never forget, I got this call from the doctor's office, and they said, we need you to come in. We need you to come in today. And I thought, this doesn't sound too good. And I said, well, when do you need me to come in? And they said, well, the doctor's doing work today, but he can be here in 2 hours. And I thought, oh gosh, this isn't good. So I called my husband, and we planned to meet at the doctor's office. And so I came in, and I found out that I have a brain tumor, and it's in the brainstem, which is something I'd never heard of before. I didn't know what it did. But essentially, it's at the base of your brain, kind of between your ears, and it's the part of your brain that controls your heart rate, breathing, and swallowing, which are critical life functions. And there's no good place to have a brain tumor, but this is a really awful place to have a brain tumor. And I had a tumor about the size, or I have a tumor about the size of a ping pong ball in this area, which is really scary. So at this time, I was about a month out from running the Marine Corps Marathon, and I just booked my flights. And I was talking to the doctor, and I'm like, do you think I can still run the marathon next month? And he looked at me like I was totally crazy, and he's like, no, you can't run. He's like, you're going to be really busy. And I thought, busy? What does that mean? So what that meant was that 2 weeks later, I was in the hospital for surgery. Due to the location and nature of my tumor, it's completely inoperable. They can't touch it, meaning I get to keep it for the rest of my life. But I did need to have surgery to have a shunt installed. Where the tumor is, it was causing fluid to build up in my brain, which was what was causing the really intense headaches. So I had a shunt which drains the excess fluid from my head down to my stomach. And that's actually helped eliminate my headaches, which is awesome. And while I was in surgery, they also did a biopsy to see what type of tumor it is. So after I had surgery, I couldn't run for about a month, which was kind of devastating to me on top of everything else. And during that time, my friends started Miles for Moki, which Amy mentioned, which was a Facebook page which has, I think, like over 200 people who dedicated their runs and their miles to me during that month that I couldn't run. And it was really cool. I had friends, you have Tara, who's down here, who posted pictures. I had friends that I'd met didn't even know who were posting their miles, which was just really, really neat. There was a girl from my team here, Coach Barb, and my nieces, and my cousin, and then another person that I hadn't even met yet, which was really neat. So during that month, it was really cool to me. It was really frustrating. I couldn't run, dealing with the emotions of everything else I was going through, but it was, really touching for me to see all of the support I had from the running community. So during that time, when I announced that I couldn't run the Marine Corps Marathon to my friends, our wonderful Amy, I forgot this part, I also started radiation, which was fun too. So radiation involved lying on this table, having this horrible mask attached to your head's bolted down to the table, and this huge machine going around you. I did this 5 days a week for 6 weeks. I also was on a ton of pills. I was on oral chemotherapy, which I'm still on. So I was taking pills for the cancer, pills to fight the side effects of the pills for the cancer, and then other pills to fight the side effects of the side effects, which is, didn't feel so great during that time. But back to the Marine Corps Marathon, I told everyone, I can't run. My doctor said I can't run. I'm being surgery. And Amy, which you see, second from the right here, said, I'll run for you. So keep in mind this is a month out. And, while she's in great shape, she wasn't training to do a distance event at all. And within 4 weeks, you might want to talk to her about her training program. Running a few miles, running 20 miles, and then, running 26.2 miles. And it was just really great. My friend Christina from college here, over to the left, carried this little stick with a picture of me the whole way, so I could be there with her. Once the 30 days had gone by, I kind of started running slowly. I felt not great. I was tired, slow, but I love running, and I kind of slowly got back into it. And I was thinking in January, I want to run another marathon. So I asked my oncologist, do you think I can run the LA Marathon in March? And he's like, no, I don't think you should do this. And I said, why? Will it be harmful to my treatment? He's like, no, you really shouldn't do this. And I kind of asked him again why, and he said, well, we're increasing your dose of chemo, we don't know how you're going to react to it, I don't want you to be disappointed if you can't run the race. And I told him I would be much more disappointed if I ended up feeling fine and I hadn't even tried. So, against his recommendation, I signed up for the LA Marathon, and I started training knowing that if at any point I didn't feel well, or my blood counts didn't look good, or just something terrible happened, that I have to drop out, and I was okay with that. So, let's get through these. I started running again, and I did the Cardiff Coupe 5K, as been too. I also did the Mermaid Half Marathon, and these are all great Girls on the Run girls who ran with me the whole way. This is my slowest half marathon ever, but I was really happy to finish. And then in March of this year, I ran the LA Marathon with Tara here in Florida. Marathon ever, probably Tara's too. I felt really bad for ruining her time, but it was really nice of her to run with me. I really appreciate it. And you can see our shirts in the back. I was powered by chemo, and the back of her shirt says, "Impossible things happen every day." So after I ran the LA Marathon, I wanted to run another one. So I set my sights on Long Beach. And about a week and a half ago, I ran the Long Beach Marathon with Barb, who she's right there. She's a coach at Point Loma. You notice on her shirt, Barb also stands for Badass Running Buddy. So we ran a Long Beach Marathon together, side by side. This was my 20th marathon and my second during chemo. During this time, I think I've won over my oncologist. He's in the gray shirt there. This was at a brain tumor walk about a month ago. It went from him telling me I really shouldn't be running to now each time I see him, he asks me, what race I have next. And he also shared the story with me, which really, made me feel good. He's telling me how he had a patient who, was, newly diagnosed and needed to start taking the chemo, and he's really resistant. He said, I don't want to take it. I hear really bad things about it. I hear you feel terrible, and you're sick, and you're tired, and my doctor really encouraged him, this is the best course of action for you. You should really take this. And he's like, no, I don't want to take it. I don't want to feel bad, and my doctor told him, well, I have another patient who just ran the LA Marathon while taking this. And he changed his mind, he took it. Made me feel kind of neat, our 5K in San Diego about a month ago. And almost all of these girls here, I've met through Girls on the Run. And it's, this program is all about what we can do for the girls and what we can teach them about running and being healthy, and about making friends. And through this program, I've made some incredible friends as well. So, I'm grateful for that. I'm really grateful for what running has been in my life. It's really helped me, especially through all these challenges I'm going through right now, to be confident and to deal with struggles and to set goals for myself and to do something that's healthy for me. And that's something that this program teaches these girls at such a young age. So I love this program, and I love all the people I met through this. And I'm so grateful that all of you came tonight to help support our organization. And I hope you enjoyed the film today.
She's signing autographs later, just in case you want one. Thank you.
All right, so we're going to start the film.